God,
you lovely
damn.
gentlemen. It's been a while. It's been a while.
You guys in here. Shut the fuck up.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of United Kaiju Podcast, and we have a very special guest. Oh, wait, before I do that, I haven't seen y'all since last year.
I hate him. I fucking hate you. I hate you. Oh, I hate you so much. Oh. I was waiting for that.
It has been a year since I've seen you, lovely gentlemen. It's been a while. It's been a while.
You guys in here. Shut the fuck up.
John, you look lovely as always. It's great to see you again.
But okay, I got that out the way. Let's get back to our guest. We got
Thank you.
The creator of Shelter 54, and I'm pretty sure this video has circulated the community very much because
oh yes,
we all love the analog horror found footage stuff. We love it. We love it. We're gonna let him introduce himself. Again, appreciate you coming on board. We're gonna task him with the phrase that pays as well. So, give us a little introduction.
Take it away.
Do I say the line first and then the intro, or intro then?
Whatever floats your boat,
Yeah,
dude.
Whatever
do it
goes,
however you think it's right.
Daddy's home, cake every night.
Woo! He might be the first guest that actually gets it right. No, I think Rashid also got it right. Everyone has trouble. Like, Daddy's home, cake for breakfast. No, that's not the way to do it. But yes, well done. Good sir, please introduce yourself.
Thank you. Yeah. So my name's Tarrell Christie. I'm a filmmaker, editor, writer. Living in Iowa. That's where I've been born and raised. And yeah, starting, I believe it was 2023, I started kind of going heavy into Godzilla stuff. I was doing, a lot of original short films and whatnot. But it's kind of a weird story, but basically, long story short, my grandpa passed away, and he was like we watched a lot of Godzilla movies and stuff together. And so that happening is kind of just what like jump started everything. Like, I don't know, it just kind of unlocked something in me. I'm like, I just got to go for this Godzilla stuff. Instead of waiting for Hollywood to call me. And so a few years later, we are here.
So Hollywood, if you're watching, fucking pick this guy up, man. Shelter 54, watch his shit. Seriously, fucking
bigger budget.
So just to kind of clarify, so were you a Godzilla? So prior to, I guess, everything, were you like a huge Godzilla fan, or was it like, oh, I know Godzilla, he's cool, blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Here, give me 1 sec. I know people. This probably is an audio-only podcast.
No, sir. We do it all. This is going on the channel, brother.
Yeah,
this will be on YouTube.
This will be on YouTube too, also. So share it.
This will show my age and how long I've been a Godzilla fan to you guys.
Wow.
Trendmaster.
Yep. Trendmaster's is king.
I love that design too. No, solid deal, man. Solid deal. Love it. Yeah. Big Trendmasters fan, always. 90s rule. Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
And I see
I was born in 96, so like when that 98 Godzilla movie came out, that kind of just like, I'm not sure which one I got into first, if it was that or the Japanese one. But yeah, that got me so heavy into Godzilla as a kid.
For your safety, we will just say you got into the Toho Godzilla first.
That's fair.
I also noticed the posters you're rocking in the background. That's pretty sick.
Thank
the
you.
monsters in the OG Kong. Love it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. All right. So we're going to interrogate our guest now with some fabulous questions. I would absolutely love to give the floor to Ramon because this was all Ramon's doing. So, Ramon, please.
So I'm going to hit you with a question right at the gate. So a couple of days ago, I was looking for something to post on my page. Something like, I was like, just typed in something random, and I happened to come across Biollante. There's a concept art that caught my eye, and it reminded me of what you did. I don't know if you got inspiration of this, but I'm going to pull up a photo as I go along with it. Tell me this did not get inspiration for the Biollante rose form that you did in Shelter 54, because I love that you put the eye of Erica in the center of the rose.
That was,
dude, that
so sick.
as much as I love Godzilla vs. Biollante, I kind of wish they did a little more, like, somewhat more body horror with the rose form. But when you put that eye in the center of the rose, I had goosebumps, man. I was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe like what I was looking at. I was like, no way this dude just snuck this in here. But
yeah, it was a great touch.
It was a great touch, man. I'm pulling it up right now. And then, but continue. Hang on. Here it is. Stand by. Come on, here we go. I know.
Let's be professional at this shit. We haven't guessed.
Nope.
I know. I'm
no pressure.
No pressure. It's okay. Come on, Ramon. Come on.
Oh yeah.
So I know, like, in this concept art, you see a face in the original rose form of Biollante. Did you get inspiration to put the eye of Erica within the rose of Shelter 54?
You know what's funny? I did look at this concept art while making it, but I actually did not notice there's a face in it until right now. That's actually really
yeah.
Hands off, Toho.
Yeah.
That would be a cool. I wish I could say I got it from that. But no, that the eye was something that kind of that changed throughout time, because originally it was going to kind of just be like a mouth, like the original Rose.
Yeah.
But I was playing a lot of Resident Evil at the time.
Right.
And like there's always like the big always have eyes there and everything. So that was pretty much where the eye came from.
So dope.
Because it just definitely seems like for this documentary you went with Resident Evil, House on Haunted Hill, and John Carpenter's The Thing. It's just like, dude, you definitely delve deep into the horror genre with this, man. And I gotta say, not a lot of Godzilla films have done this with this execution, and you, sir, absolutely knocked it out of the park. So that's my first question.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
that means a lot.
That's my first question. Now I'm going to pass the next question to Tony.
Okay, yeah. So, how did you do it? What? I'm an artist. So, what programs did you use to bring this to life? And also, kudos on using Shin, Biollante, and Legendary's Godzilla. It's something about that mix that gelled well with this whole video. But yeah, what were some of the apps that you used in the process, and maybe how long did it take you from start to finish?
Yeah, I think start to finish, it was about 8 months working on it. On and off. I pretty much jumped into it right after I did the previous one called Living with Monsters.
Another classic.
And app-wise, for animation, I do Blender.
Okay.
And then After Effects is where I take the animations, add, atomic breath, explosions, all that extra stuff. And then Adobe Premiere is where I put together the final story and all the shots and music and whatnot.
Nice. Yeah. It was a lot of the scenes with the vines coming out of Shin Godzilla's mouth that were very, very unsettling. How he shakes as the you were cooking with grease there. You were cooking with grease there. I like that.
Thank you. Yeah. No, getting those vines is probably the hardest. Probably the hardest thing of the short, just trying to control them, and watching behind the scenes of the original Godzilla versus Biollante. I see now why you never see like full on shots of the vines coming in attacking Godzilla. It's always close ups or like they edit around, and I can see why they're very tricky to work with.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I love how
you got, John.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
No, finish your thought, Ramon.
I was gonna say you did another amazing job with throwing all of these monsters within this documentary, but they all played, even some of the smaller ones played a good role in them. So kudos to you for like going with the Godzilla from the anime series, throwing those kaiju in. The Shin Godzilla Biollante. Like, dude, I just watched it this morning as I was making my coffee, so I'm fresh. It's fresh in my mind right now.
No, yeah, that was an excellent touch too.
Yeah.
And you used the green atomic uh breath from the animated show. I like that. I like that touch.
Yeah, yeah. I grew up. I love that cartoon series so much, and so one of my goals with the series was to try and bring it back in some way.
Right, right.
You did it right. That's for sure.
Go ahead,
So
John.
rewatching it last night, I kind of noticed a couple of things, and I'm curious if I was on point with it.
hmm
I noticed a lot of points to 84 and 89. I felt obviously
Mhm.
Godzilla versus Biollante off the bat, but a lot of 84 here and there. So I was just curious, out
Yeah.
of those two, which film is your favorite, 84 or 89?
Ooh.
I'd probably go 80. Just because that was my first from like the Heisei area of movies. Like it was just all Showa, like for my childhood, and then my aunt gave me that one for I think Easter, Biollante. And
Nice.
I was just, what is this? Like it was so serious and weird and gross. But it's become one of my favorites, so I'll probably have to lean towards that one.
Okay. All right. Cool.
That's a fair
Cool.
point.
Was I now just to follow up? Was I wrong in any of that? Maybe the 84 wasn't all there, but obviously 89.
No, I appreciate that actually. I haven't, maybe I've missed a comment, but I don't think anyone's called it out. But when Shin Biollante gets killed by Godzilla, the scream it lets out is the roar.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he falls. I was hoping someone would pick up on that, but no one has yet.
That-
so I'm glad you.
Oh.
That's exactly why I said. I was like, wait a minute, like that's a very iconic scream,
Yes.
and it's
Yeah.
not only iconic, but it's also in the American version. So like
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
feel more of the community gravitates towards 84 because God forbid you
Right.
say 85 while talking about 84.
Oh,
and
no.
they will put you on the stake and burn you like a fucking witch in the Salem witch trials. So
Yeah.
it was really interesting to hear, and I think and also it worked so well with that whole scene. So yeah, I'm cool, man. I'm glad I'm the first because man, I heard that I was like, oh, he did it. He
Yep.
put it in smack right. So bravo, good sir, bravo.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that roar was always just, even as a kid hearing it, it's just so.
It gets you in the heart, man.
Yeah.
It hits you right here.
Yeah, I had to use it somewhere.
Love it, dude. Bravo,
You did a fantastic
bravo.
job.
Indeed, agreed. Ramon,
So
shut
I
up.
think shut up.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, bye, guys.
Turn off your light. We don't need you anymore. No,
All right,
go
all
on, bro.
What gave you the inspiration to have Biollante goes from the Rose form to the Shin Godzilla form? Because I think, in my opinion, that is probably the best Godzilla form for Biollante to transition to before she goes into her beast form. Because watching it for the first time, I was just like, I wasn't expecting. I was like, no way they're gonna do this with Biollante. But when you see her merge from the fog, again, them goosebumps. So what gave you the inspiration to do that?
Yeah, that was a part that kind of changed a lot through making it. Originally, it was going to be the middle stage between the flower and Biollante was going to be more of this like humanoid creature that I believe was actually going to end up being Gyra, and that was going to be kind of the middle monster.
You just gave her
But
a hard on.
I know, but I wanted to. I didn't want Gyra to just be like a middle phase monster and then disappear.
Right.
And then also once I started kind of just like playing around with like the Shin model in place of it, kind of as like a placeholder, I was like, I don't know, this kind of works a little better. And then once I like changed the skin color to green and kind of started to make it look a little more plant-like, that was kind of like, okay, I think this will be a good way to get some Godzilla action in without needing Godzilla in a way. Like it's kind of a different Godzilla origin story. But yeah, that's pretty much how it came to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. You said Gyra, and I got so excited.
He loves those motherfuckers. Like if Toho put out a movie, he'd probably go into the theater spanking his meat violently and happily at the same time. and not finishing until the movie ended. So if that shit was 2 hours long, he'd just be sitting there.
John, go fuck yourself.
I haven't seen you guys in a year, so I gotta be pretty filthy.
Tony, what's your question?
Oh Lord,
What's
man.
your question, brother?
The comes from full circle, boys. I got you. What you got, Tony? What you got, brother?
So yeah, Biollante is one of my favorite villains. I don't even want to call it a villain of Godzilla. It's just one of my favorite monsters in the Godzilla series. And I was wondering, because we can't do an episode without mentioning it. What are your thoughts on Biollante and -1 sequel?
Ooh, I mean, I'd be so down for it. I think I've heard the director talk about he also is interested in Hedorah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might like him.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like an itty bit more. But man, no, if anyone could pull off Biollante, like, oh, that'd be so sick. I would love to see
that would be sick. But given the ending, you know, we've got a little bit of time on since -1's been out, so you know we've all talked about it, speculated, and this and that with this incredible movie. But yeah, the G cells on her neck could lend to a Hedorah type of thing too. When I saw it initially, I was Biollante. You couldn't convince me otherwise. That was, but Hedorah is also a great sequel monster to go into with a more realistic tone. Yeah, I think that would be great. So, do you have any plans on a sequel of your own?
Yeah, there's gonna be the next one is gonna kind of, I like to jump back in the series throughout time. So this one is 89. Next one is gonna jump back to 1966. And that one I'm pretty excited about. There's a lot of big surprise cameos in it and monsters I'm really excited to finally kind of get in the series because people have been asking about it. And yeah, it's gonna be cool. And Biollante will also return in a future video as well. Yeah, because there's a certain giant moth that I really want to explore their relationship with Biollante.
So you mean Batra, right? Is that who we're talking
Yep.
about? We're talking about Batra, right? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure it wasn't Mothra again for like, you know, the 80th million time in, you know, people's videos. Just want to make sure. All right, cool. Carry on. Nah, of course. Understandable. It's a fan. Sweet. I love it. I'm actually curious because as I watched it, I noticed certain things that were mentioned. Like you first started out with kind of like that SCP naming sequence thing. Like I forgot what it was. Something 19. Oh, stupid mind here. But then you kind of start mentioning it, like the actual names.
Subject 19.
Yeah. So I'm curious if, with the likenesses of everything, were there any legality situations? Like, did Toho kind of come down to you? Because Toho has been known to be like, hey, no, you're not doing it. And whatnot. So I'm curious if, like, because your videos are getting very, very popular. Big talk in town. So obviously, you know, in the wind, someone's gonna smell it eventually. So with Shelter 54, were there any like fears of legality, or did someone say, "Hey, you got to do X, Y, and Z so you don't get sued"?
Yeah, honestly, nothing has happened yet.
Good.
I'm worried one day I'm going to just open my email and there's going to be like a cease and desist. But no, I haven't been too worried about it, mainly because I'm not making money off of it,
right,
which is where I think they get mad with a lot of people. And also it's like, if they come for mine, I feel like you're pretty much gonna have to come for like every fan Godzilla work in the community.
Right.
So I don't know. I kind of like to tell myself I'm protected by that, but who knows? It could end.
And just a follow-up question to that. Let's say you do get a cease and desist letter from Toho. Would you print it and frame it?
You know what? That would be, yeah,
That
that'd be
would
some.
be, that would be dope.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I would if Legendary came to us and was like, listen, you can't say Daddy's home cake every night anymore in an email. I print that sucker out and I give it the biggest fucking frame, 8x10, whatever, and just mount it on my wall. I'm like, I did it. I did it. We got recognized.
We have
we
have
did it.
arrived.
We have
Yeah, so that's fair. So yeah. So I agree with you, my man.
And then next G Fest we go to, all three of us are holding the frame side by side.
Oh,
Absolutely, we have to.
Let them get
Nah.
fucking what's his face, Ford Brody at G Fest. I would hold that and like, hey, sign it, dude.
Sign it.
Your tagline got us a cease and desist letter from Legendary. Bravo.
Cheers to that.
Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Ramon.
Oh man. So I really love the way how you incorporated how Biollante came to be. I mean, of course, you went with the traditional route with the dead daughter, fusing her cells with Godzilla and Rose. But I love that you went with a different route on it with Skidera's blood and all these toxins mixing into the shelter with the unfortunate souls. You know, rest in peace to those victims. But I love how the fact that you were able to incorporate, you know, a different origin with the Biollante through your storytelling. How did you come up with that process?
Yeah, I kind of decided early on I wanted her origin to be kind of convoluted in a way,
Right.
because like the world because in like the original movie, Biollante comes just literally Godzilla cell inject into a Rose, you know, and there's a monster. But in the universe this is in, like, there's so many monsters and so much of that DNA is already kind of like laying about. Like a kid with a basic science kit could probably end up, you know, making his own. So I wanted to make sure that this was really like a once in a million type of situation where like this creature could come alive. And yeah, mixing in Skidera, that I liked because I always liked how kind of like Megaguirus, Skidera had the ability to take other people's abilities.
Right.
And I thought having that gene pass on to Biollante to where by the end she has her own kind of atomic breath, that really interested me. And also it's not as covered in this video, but in the future you kind of see how some of that other monster DNA inside of her, how other creatures kind of react to her and everything. So yeah, that basically was just kind of, I try to make it convoluted but also make sense in the same way.
No, because I think you did a brilliant job with the storytelling and how you build up the monster from, you know, Skidera's blood to, you know, going to this route, and then Dr. Shirogami taking the sample of Subject 19, mixing it with the Godzilla cells, and then we get this giant Rose to... By the way, one of my favorite scenes is when Dr. Shirogami is talking to Erica for the first time, and you have like the screen with her eyeball, and she's like, we all hurt, you know, I see lights. But the biggest thing that got me,
was dope.
Holy shit, I'm terrified. Like, I'm legitimately terrified because I watched this documentary like at 11 o'clock at night because I couldn't go to sleep. When she said, I am everyone. Kudos to you, man, because holy shit, dude, I was terrified.
Thank you. You know, I'm kind of surprised. Like, I'm sometimes, I guess, hard on myself because I thought that line was, people were gonna say that was trash. Like I thought that was gonna be cheesy. I thought people were not gonna be feeling it. That's like the line people love the most from the video. I was like, I really don't know what I'm talking about.
We are our own worst critics, my friend.
Yes.
That's just facts. Like that's facts.
As a creator, you're gonna be hardest on yourself. But we, you know, as creators, we see the thing that we're creating go from nothing, absolutely nothing, a thought, an idea to the finished product. So we see all the mistakes, all the changes, all the I don't like this, but I'll leave it in. but we have to understand that the people watching it and taking it in, they look at it as a finished product. They don't see the parts where we was like, I could have did better there.
No.
So
Right.
if you're getting praise for that, it is hard to take that and really sit with it, because you're always gonna see I could have done better, or I could have did this. But
Mhm.
take solace in what you've accomplished and what you've made is definitely a monumental um, achievement. So,
Oh, thank you.
but with that, I want to go into my next question.
Go ahead.
Mhm.
You're a fan of Cloverfield, huh?
I am. Yeah.
It was a little bit of some Cloverfield in that in this
Mhm.
whole thing too, and I absolutely loved it. I wanted to talk about the tone that you decided to go with, because like I said earlier, the found footage, analog horror, that first person view, shakiness, all of the little tidbits that Ramon was able to pick out, like what were outside of Godzilla films, what were
Mhm.
some of your inspirations to kind of throw in there?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Cloverfield's that's a huge one. One of my favorite movies. Like as a filmmaker, that one just like that was one of those movies that like I saw it and it was just like immediately I want to go make something like that.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
love the movie. Um, I'd say a lot of online horror was a big inspiration. I'm a big King Pixels fan. I'm
Okay.
sure you're a big fan of like Backrooms and stuff. I love those.
Mhm.
Um, and also, like I'd say, video games. I think I mentioned Resident Evil. That was a big one.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Five
The
Nights at
Fear.
Freddy's.
I'm not. No, that I can't say that inspired this one, but I do like Five Nights.
House on Haunted Hill.
But yeah, House on Haunted. Yeah, yeah, I do like that one. Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
movie too. Great film.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. So
no, go ahead, dude.
it was pulled from I'd say movies, games. Yeah, it's kind of all sorts of things.
Nice. Nice. Nice.
I dig it.
That's
So
awesome.
while I was watching Biollante's movements, I was like, why does this look somewhat familiar? And I'm like, I wonder if he's doing this. Did you use any figures in your animations? Because
Ooh.
Biollante kind of like just reminded me of semi SH Monster Arts figure a little bit, just by her like some movements. So I'm wondering if like you took that image, threw it into your programs, and kind of just went off with that, making it look way better than the actual figure did, because that figure looked like doo doo, to be honest. And curious, did you use any figures for this project?
No, the Biollante model is from the PS4 game.
Holy dog shit!
Wow.
I was way to fuck off.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. Okay. I like that. That's fucking awesome, though. Sweet. Good to know.
See,
Ramon.
What were you gonna say, Tony?
I was just gonna say the little tips and tricks that he probably used to bring this to life is probably
Right? Like,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you could be getting thrown snowballs at it, and you just, here's what I did. You're all wrong. You have no idea what you're talking about. Go back to fucking film school, jackass. Like, damn, dude. Like, yeah, cool. I dig it.
Yeah.
Ramon, what you got?
So I love the bits and pieces of references that you put in, like from the Godzilla films into this documentary. With like, so 3 of the biggest references that I caught right away was when Shin Biollante, excuse me, attempted to do the atomic breath for the first time, put a shot at the neck. GMK, that was a good touch. The roar from the Americanized version of Godzilla, 1984. Again, an amazing touch as it's dying. Another one that I appreciated was the scene when Legendary shows up for the first time to confront Shin Biollante, and you got the lightning effect going on in the background, like with Terror and Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
dude, I give you kudos to that because John loves that movie with a passion. That's one of his favorites. I love it. Tony loves it. It is an all-time classic. But how, like, were you just like, you know what? I think I could do this with Legendary, so I'm just go ahead and go for it. Like, I thought it was a really great touch. So talk to us about that process.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a part of it where like, I just gotta pay tribute to like all my favorite, Godzilla movies and moments. Yeah, I'm trying to think like the Terror of Mechagodzilla one. That might be my favorite entrance he ever makes in any movie.
Such a good entrance.
Oh yeah,
it's so good. And like that's a shot I wish I spent more time on because I feel like I didn't even like scratch the amount of epicness that the original one has. But yeah, I always try and pay tribute to those older movies because I love them and the series wouldn't even exist without them. But yeah, it's just fun to take those kind of iconic shots, from like your childhood and like let me see if I can recreate this.
Right.
And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's so cool once it finally all comes together.
And it's like what Tony said, you as an artist, visual effects artist, content creator, whatever you are your own worst critique. But I'm telling you, dude, when I saw that shot for the first time and you like captured the sound effect as like we cut away, we see Legendary like showing up and before he does the roar, dude. I'm telling you, dude, that scene was cream of the crop. So you being so hard on yourself, man, stop it. You were doing such a fantastic job. I mean, I love the Griffin short film and then Walking with Monsters. I was like, okay, I don't know if this dude can do any better. And then we get Shelter 54. I'm like, there's no way we can top this one. There's no way. But knowing how you bring your amazing creativity to the table, hey, man, the sky's the limit with you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's honestly the kind of the tragic thing about being the creator of these videos is I don't really get to just enjoy it like you guys did. Like you've mentioned, you see all the mistakes. Like one thing that's funny is people telling me like, oh, that was like really scary. That was really gross, blah, blah, blah. But like, I've been working on it since it's just like these really badly animated things. So I'm already so numb and so desensitized that like, I just watch Shelter 54 with a straight face. Like it really, nothing in it really even like affects me in any way anymore. But yeah, it's I was like, I don't know how I can top Living with Monsters, and now people seem to like this new one more. So now I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to top this one, but we'll find out.
I mean, it's safe to say with you, man. I think the sky's the limit. I think if you have made 3 back-to-back bangers, I think you're more than capable of bringing out another classic to the table.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Tony?
So, you're writing it?
Yep.
You're animating it?
Yep.
And you're putting it out. You're doing it all.
Yep.
That's my question. John, go.
So basically, what you're trying to tell me is you're doing the whole thing.
You're just the king of flex, is what you're telling us.
I have to give my credit to my actors. They help a lot too. I don't. They definitely help bring it alive.
So yeah, okay. Let's reel it back. Let's talk about that. You got people like voice actors and stuff like that. You're not doing all the voices yourself.
No.
That was I was kind of curious because none of them watched. I'm like, is this dude doing every single voice?
Like,
if he is, holy fuck, that's impressive.
I was like, is he doing the voice of Erica too? Okay, I'm not mad at it.
Well, you could easily AI could turn anyone's voice into anyone nowadays. So I mean, it would definitely fit, and that roboticness of it, that hive mind collective kind of tone that you gave Erica, and like Ramon's favorite line, I am everyone. It was vaguely, it reminded me of like a 2001 Space Odyssey sort of thing. And I was like, if this dude is doing all this himself, like, fuck, if he had a cast, like, holy shit. But you have a cast, so holy shit.
And when
and I'm hoping to do, I've only done, like, what's kind of funny with the series is I think people have kind of labeled me like an animator, which I mean, I do animate and it's fun. But I'm actually like a live action director. Like this is actually a newer kind of thing for me. So I think people will be surprised in future episodes, just like how live action stuff gets. But yeah, I mean, just having that cast with me is great. I feel like I get to kind of educate them on Godzilla because they really don't know anything I'm having them say. So I got to get the research on it and stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, man.
I like that. That's cool. Tony,
I'm assuming it's friends and family.
Yeah, friends. Yeah, pretty much all people I just hang out with outside of filmmaking too and stuff.
So when they get the chance to watch it, you mentioned that they don't know much about Godzilla. They get the chance to watch it. What are their thoughts?
They're usually blown away. Like Shelter 54, I think most of the voice actors on it had no idea what really like that original movie was like, or even anything. I was a little worried they'd see it and be like, what was this gross thing I just signed up for? Like, what is
Yeah.
But no, they loved it. And one of them told me that they're checking out the Godzilla movies now, so job
Nice.
accomplished.
Wow.
Spreading the masses, man. I
Great
love
job
it.
on that.
Yeah. Another one to the dark side.
Oh, this
God.
guy.
He
This
did
guy.
it. He did it. His thumbs up things that we go, I can't fucking do it.
Well, see, I've noticed on Tarrell's
he's
computer,
getting the thumbs up
he's getting
bubble.
the thumbs
Do
up
you
too,
see when you do your thumbs up, dude, that you got a little bubble come up on your
Dude,
screen?
I do.
Can you do a thumbs up real quick?
Wait, see now it's not going to do it. Now we're
Okay,
going to look like a bunch of idiots.
Well, Tony can do the heart thing too.
I was thinking he might be on an Apple device.
I am, yeah.
I guess there you go. That's why. Love it. So I'm curious. Because I've been saying this for a while now. I think Godzilla needs to try its foot in the door with horror. And a lot of people will come at me and say, "Oh, well, 54 is a horror," all these. And I'm not talking about the story. I'm talking about actual horror. So you have, Man in the Suit, you have your films and all that stuff. I'm curious to know what inspired you to get Godzilla into that horror type of genre, because now it's starting to take focus again, and people are like, oh, let's get some actual scary Godzilla short films out there, and it's an untapped genre in my opinion. But I've been saying it for a while, like we need some scary Godzilla shit, like human-sized Godzilla just ripping people apart, fucking just whatever, gory, bloody, terrifier type of action.
Right.
When you first started this analog horror type of stuff, what were your inspirations? Were you like, oh shit, I'm watching The Thing, Godzilla would go good with The Thing?
Yeah, it was. I don't even know if I really set out to do horror with it. Like, I think Shelter 54 is definitely probably what I would put in like the analog horror. Living with Monsters, I guess, has some disturbing stuff, but I mainly just try and aim for like, I don't want to say realism because it's obviously not real. I guess real consequences would be
Right.
the better thing, because I feel like we don't see a lot of the human aftermath as much as anymore in Godzilla movies.
That's
like
right.
in the original era, like those hospital scenes messed me up as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The child crying, like that. Yeah, like I feel like -1 nailed it really well. But yeah, so I don't know if I ever really set out with horror overall specifically. It was more so just real consequences and also like blood. So I guess that kind of plays into it all.
The gore aspect of it, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the whole series, like this next one that comes out, is a bit of a palate cleanser for Shelter 54, because yeah, even for me, I don't know mentally if I want to work in something that dark again, just for like a year straight.
Give you a little time to decompress after that
Yeah.
trauma you
Right.
just went through. I get that, man, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So the next one's going to be kind of back to 60s black and white. A little more, I guess, cheesy, just kind of how the era is, but not as, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was a really long answer.
No,
No, it's
I,
good.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's good to know because, like I even said, like I think the whole Godzilla horror thing is coming up, and it's one of those genres that I think should be explored more because it can work. It can work very easily, and I know Toho has said Godzilla can eat people and all that stuff, but like you film people can absolutely do this without I feel without consequences from Toho going, well, you took a character and now he's ripping apart someone and drinking the blood. Like, I'm going to sue you and shit. You guys can fucking get in there. And I just think it's fucking awesome. So thank you very much for bringing this shit to life, man. Seriously.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Ramon, what you got?
Dang, John hit it with a banging question.
I took my fucking time, man. I was watching this shit last night. I'm like, all right. I mean, this guy made a good fucking short film. I'm gonna fucking come at him now.
Okay, so I think one of the things that I also appreciate about this film that you gave with Biollante, the beast form, is one thing I kind of wish that we would have gotten in the original film, is that you were able to give a Biollante Godzilla dorsal plates. I thought when she was taking hits on the beam for the first time, and then she's like, okay, now it's my turn. Then you see the dorsal plates, the glowing sound effect. I'm like, bro, where was this in the original movie? Like, had we just seen Biollante be like, all right, now it's my turn to hit Godzilla with my beam effect, and then you see like the Heisei dorsal plates come out of her back, and just, I really thought that was a fantastic touch, man. So, kudos to you for bringing that nice subtle detail with Biollante, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that's kind of what is fun writing these compared to like original things is people have kind of expectations already. So they're kind of fun to play with. Like when you see Godzilla blasting Biollante in her belly with atomic breath, you kind of think like, okay, well, this is probably about to be it because that's how he always beats her. But I wanted to flip it to where, not only does that not actually kill her, she actually gets stronger and then mutates even more. And that was also a little call back to Orga when he's absorbing Godzilla.
Oh yeah,
the spine on his back too. So yeah, like that. I love the original movie, but one thing that always kind of bothered me is Godzilla beat Biollante the same way twice, just zapping the stomach.
Yeah.
And so I wanted the second time they fought to have. I basically kind of wanted the idea that whatever kills Biollante, she'll come back now immune to whatever that was. And so that was a really fun way to kind of play with that and give her a projectile. I wanted to do the puking, but that was hard to figure out. So it ended up becoming kind of this beam ball.
Yeah.
But maybe in the future I'll be able to get that.
No,
I really wanted her puking all over Godzilla. But maybe.
But I feel like at the same time you did a great job because I feel like that was an homage to Mecha Gears. Because when she absorbs his DNA, and then rather than like the traditional beam effect that we get, it's like a giant, atomic ball that she shoots at Godzilla. So I was like, okay, that had to be a reference to Mecha Gears. So I thought that was awesome too. But I mean, again, that's an excellent point. When Godzilla beat Biollante the Rose from the first time, I wish he would have been like, okay, now I'm immune to this. I know what he's going to do, so now I'm going to be even harder to beat. So for you to put that in Shelter 54, man, and just make her like this unstoppable tank, kudos to you. That was beautiful.
Yeah, my goal was to make her possibly the strongest monster in the universe, just purely based off of whatever kills her, she'll just come back and is essentially immortal.
Yep.
Basically, shades of Shin Godzilla as a whole, just able to adapt to anything thrown at him.
Yeah.
But I do want to. It's not a question; it's just a commentary. I think you helped me understand why I have such an issue with GXK.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh boy.
You said that you it's fictional, yes, but you dealt with real life consequences. And
Right.
you mentioned that -1 did a great job of that. GXK failed miserably at that. Do you know how many people died in that last fight?
In Brazil.
And when it was all over and Godzilla shot away the ice and everything, all of the main characters, the ones that we follow, they're high five and everything's great.
Yeah.
A lot of people died.
Yeah.
So, that's without having Godzilla eat people or anything like that, you could explore that part of um a story with Godzilla or giant kaiju dealing with the trauma during, like, let's get close on the people that are losing loved ones in front of them from getting
Right.
stepped on, or we can dive into that a whole lot more. I think if we want to really try to go the horror route with Godzilla and kaiju movies, that's a fantastic way to go. And you touched on that, especially with um the blood going down into where everyone was hiding, or not hiding, but into the little area that was
Yeah,
flooded
the
and
shelter.
everything.
Mhm.
That right there, that's a great way to break into that whole genre, pulling this into the horror aspect. Shin got close. There was some
Right.
things that they cut from Shin, the eyes,
Yeah.
the material and stuff that they cut out of Shin. They could have given us that.
Well, the vomiting
I
the
Mhm.
blood, of course, was like
right,
like
Mhm.
that should have absolutely been in there. It was
right,
And instead of the dorsal being was what the military found, it should have been the bloody mesh of meat with the eyes and teeth. That should have stayed in.
that should have
Yeah.
stayed in. That
yeah.
should
I
have
love
stayed
that.
in. And the tone of Shin, we know what Shin is. Shin is, but the tone that they gave us kept it from stepping over into that to that horror aspect, because it was bright, the government trying to figure things out. You never really got a sense of dread from them,
Mm.
especially as much as -1. But -1 wasn't even trying to be a horror film. -1 is a
Right.
we got to set -1 over here. But yeah, it's an interesting, and like John mentioned, it's an untapped um space that I think would be a lot of success if the big companies got on board. Like John said, Toho has these rules that Godzilla cannot do this or that, but
Mhm.
some of his enemies would definitely. All right,
Yeah.
John, a human-sized Gigan just hooking everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
The
And
saw blade
yes,
just grabbing
exactly. Listen, I think Toho kind of did it with Godzilla versus Megaguirus, right? When the Megulon see the person and then the person gets eaten. They don't
Yeah.
show it though, but it's like I just came to this thought. Like, just imagine for a second, you got Minya. Minya is a human size, right?
Oh no.
And then all of a sudden, Minya starts to act real fucking funny, and then all of a sudden it's the thing that the tentacles are popping out and shit, and then like the neck grows long and all that shit. Like, I'd fucking piss myself out of pure
his face.
fear.
His
Yeah,
face
it's jaw
opens
like
up and there's
like a
another.
fucking imagine Minya having the Shin Godzilla mouth.
So it'd be like the Godzilla from Hell, where with Minya, it's like its normal form, and then it just goes
Yeah,
into like
yeah. Just
demonic.
picture Godzilla in hell, but Minya form. I'm
Also,
sorry, that's nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
I also love how unsettling you made the Shin Godzilla roar. You used every roar the jaw split.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
that was a
love
cool
that.
little
Yeah.
touch.
It
Actually,
was
Ramon, do you have it on standby? Fucking pull it up, man. Fuck, what are we doing?
On
Let's
it.
show this man's work.
should we just watch the whole thing and talk over it?
A little commentary for the first time. Maybe we won't get flagged.
Until
hell.
they get it, and they're like, "Oh, actually, you were getting flagged for this." Like, you motherfucker.
As he's pulling it up, before you start it, Ramon, I'm just kind of curious, dude. In the future, because granted, this stuff takes time and what you said, this took you 8 months to do, correct?
Yeah.
And it's about 22 minutes, right? I believe 23 minutes.
23 minutes.
In the future, do you find yourself doing anything longer, like maybe like a full feature, hour and a half long type of film like this?
Yeah, I'm thinking I kind of have like a roadmap in my head of where, like, I have the ending already kind of figured out and everything. So I'm thinking maybe that final video would be longer. But yeah, after this one, I kind of want to jump between, like the next one I'm doing, I'm aiming to have maybe be like 10 or 12 minutes. Just so I can get the stories out there faster,
Right?
because it's you get really bad creative blue balls pretty much just waiting for like I've only shown like the tip of the iceberg of like the story, and it's just like
Right.
really want to get it out there.
And it's like with Takashi Yamazaki, because he's greenlit to do -1. Now he's doing another project, like a palette cleanser. I can't say the word. Palette cleanser. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. A palette cleanser.
What was the word he couldn't say? Statistic? Was it statistic? No.
Strategic. Fuck.
That's
Ah.
All right. Well, y'all ready to watch this or what?
Yeah.
Before I get my
strategic. All right, let's go. Let's roll this bad boy here.
Fuck you, John.
Yeah.
Pause it.
Yeah, stop it right here. Talk about like Resident Evil and Godzilla. What was that? The liquor?
Yeah.
Total liquor moment right there, dude. Love it.
When his head shakes and
Yeah, I'll play it one more time.
It's so unsettling, man.
Now I'm wondering. So, like, when you get that POV shot in the helicopter and you see Shin Godzilla there and he opens up, at first my first thought was, oh, he gonna bring out the atomic breath, and then you didn't.
No.
Now, did you have the first thought to like, oh, I should do the atomic breath here? But then did you then say, well, that would be kind of expected and pretty cliche because that's expected.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm going to do this liquor Resident Evil shit going on.
Yeah, no, I don't think I originally was never going to have them do any type of atomic breath. Just because Shin's especially seems like extremely powerful.
Yeah.
I didn't, since just the middle form, I Shin to be stronger than the actual final monster.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just love that the open mouth thing. So I really wanted to throw it in there more.
I felt like it was such a game changer for Godzilla. I mean, obviously, Shin Godzilla is a game changing film. Right. It definitely holds a spot in my heart. But to me, I feel it.
And to me, this is like, I think this is the perfect like decision that you make with this iteration of Shin Godzilla, because I can't imagine like if somebody else would do this, they would be like, oh, let's do GM or let's do 2000 or show up. Like this looks weird, but okay, I'll roll with it.
Final Wars.
Our favorite, our favorite on this channel, but
Wars fans here.
Toho,
biggest fans of Final War ever.
This year, please do not use that suit. Please, please, please.
And why do we need 3 releases of the same figure? Why? That is uncalled for.
Well, because you have to, for SH especially, you have to have the standard version. You have to have the Japanese version. You have to have the one with the accessories. You got to have the nighttime one. Then you got to have the Antarctica one, and then you got to have the one about to blow up the human beings, but Minya stands in front of him. It's important. It's important. Obviously, we all love minus one. Did you love minus one? We all love Final Wars.
Yeah, Final Wars.
Do you like Final Wars?
The
Sir?
best.
I love Final War. It's I can't say it's I don't know if I'd say it's a good movie.
You like it for what it is. It's just
entertaining.
a brawl of a movie.
Like if you're a kid, it's like 2 thumbs up. Yeah. It's amazing.
But as an adult, it's like, oh god.
Yeah, like the Matrixy fight scenes are that was interesting. They tried something.
They tried.
They said, we're going to put every movie ever in this movie.
That's literally what they did.
And Godzilla's going to be there.
I still think it's crazy how Jet Jaguar was almost going to make an appearance in the film, and they were just like, nah, we can't, because if Jet Jaguar...
That would be too crazy, right?
Yeah, exactly. If Jet Jaguar is in the film, then you can't have the mutants, you can't have the Exilians, it's just too much. So we got the...
And yet, so then let's just throw in, Kumunga and Kamakuras, because everyone loves those ones. They really needed a revamp. For fuck's sake. Oh. I mean, I'll promote this episode. We actually did a whole talk on Final Wars. If you want to go listen to it, you can go right ahead and let us know how right we were.
All right, Ramon, go ahead and hit the play button.
Yes, sir. All right, let's see it.
Dope thing.
In a rare instance, Godzilla's immediate reaction was curiosity instead of aggression.
Stop it.
God,
that was when giving Shin the Biollante roar, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
that was so unexpected. Like, granted, I knew which way you were going with it,
right?
But they give him the roar, and it worked. Because at first I was like, "The fuck did this do? What did it just do?" And then I did it. I listened to it again, and I'm like, "This fucking worked." Because Shin is this. He's a monster. He's an absolute fucking monster. So it's almost it makes it even more terrifying. And then of course you added on the vines, which make it even more scary. But to give him that subtle, like
the scream.
and
the one thing I love is, like, I know it took me a minute to realize this because I watched this a couple of times. You made one arm of the Shin Biollante bigger, like more muscular, and the other arm is just a traditional.
I was hoping someone would notice.
Really?
Yeah. What was your?
Hang
on, I'll play it. I'll keep it.
You see it really well when he tries the atomic.
Yeah, I'll let it keep playing. Then I'll stop it.
Okay. Curious to see that.
With Godzilla, Sub-19 began absorbing G cells to further mutate itself.
Yeah. So what was
what was the inspiration from Family Guy? When Quagmire learns about internet porn and he finally comes out of his house and one arm is a fucking jack and the other one is not.
Heck, I'm just gonna go grab my mail over there.
I'm just gonna get my mail over there. We haven't seen you in 3 weeks, Quagmire.
That's clearly Resident Evil
Was it
inspired.
Nemesis?
Proportions, yeah.
Resident
I didn't
Evil.
think of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of the Charger from Left 4 Dead when I did that.
Oh, okay.
That did not come into play.
Also unconsciously slipped
You're a
in there.
gamer.
Oh yeah.
Tony's a gamer too.
Hell yeah.
I try to be a gamer, but I'm not. I just play prop hunt on Call of Duty all the time.
But it did take me a couple of watches to notice with the Shin Biollante. I'm like, wait, why is one arm like just so swole and the other one is just so tiny?
Yeah.
But I was like, maybe. But then again, I was like, okay, this is Biollante still trying to evolve and mutate through Godzilla, so her form is not as perfect as like with. But I thought that was a really good, a nice little detail. And once we keep the ball rolling, because I'll stop it once we get to the final roar with Legendary after he obliterates her. Yeah, I'll go ahead and play it now. But
hit that.
Great stuff. Great reference right there.
Reference, yes, yes. I love the tendrils are still fucking like wiggling around and shit. It's such a fucking dope part. Can we just imagine if like that was like a life-size Minya with the fucking there's that roar. I mean, just imagine like Minya, he loses his head, and fucking tentacles come out, just fucking terrifying.
Yeah, that was a little tiny reference to Mechagodzilla when he loses his head in terror and he still just gets just a little nub. That was my little.
Oh wow! I didn't even think about that.
I now
Ramon,
can see that.
You didn't get that, Ramon?
Dude,
you got the muscle thing, and now you're like, oh, I didn't know that.
Well, there was another reference because, like I said, I've watched this a handful of times. I written down most of the references that I was like, okay, this is from this is from that, this from that. That one with the Shin Biollante with the nub, that one flew past my head. I was like, damn it.
Ramon, you're adorable. I could just fucking see you watching and just taking. I was like,
hey, we have this amazing guest on. I want to make sure.
I know. I am not trying to shit on you, dude. I respect that craft very, very hard because I don't have the attention span. I noticed some certain things, and then I'm like, all right, I gotta finish this shit because it's so good. I don't want to be productive. I'm gonna watch this masterpiece going on here.
Everything about that is just so well done. The lighting. You used the maser cannons. Can you tell us how you animated that stuff?
Yeah, that was a model. And thankfully they already had it pretty built where the arm moves and all that stuff. And that was something I really wanted to introduce into the series because I love the tech that the military has in the later Godzilla movies. The more just kind of like fantastical and all the lasers and ice tanks and all this stuff. So that's how that one came to be.
Wow.
Certainly fucking incredible. That's for sure. I would like to know your top 3 favorite Godzilla designs.
Ooh,
designs. Okay, I thought you were going to say movies. That was going to be a much harder question.
I'm going to throw you. I'm going to do a follow-up question, something like that, but it's going to throw you off course. So, favorite top 3 suits.
Yeah. Favorite is 62.
Oh, shit. Ramon, best buddies now. There we go. Okay.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Yeah, right, it is.
You want to go do karate in the garage? Yep. If I see you at G-Fest this year, expect a big hug.
Yeah, and then I'd say probably probably say 2000, and then
You can say -1. It's okay.
-1 is really good. I think the only reason that one loses out, it's a really weird nitpick. He has really tiny teeth. Is that weird? Am I the only one that's bothered by that? He has really tiny teeth. I don't know.
Okay.
That's a weird.
I mean, I listen. I think in the end, like yes, it is weird. It's like I mean, I never noticed the teeth.
Well, Legendary has tiny teeth too.
You're right.
Yeah.
But
He does.
but it's also it's a matter of perspective, of opinion on it, right? I can understand. Sure, it's. I mean, everyone has their own weird fucking thing. Like some people are like, oh, because they're gonna have the gills again. Blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, really?
That was controversial. That was crazy.
Yeah, like
I remember that going around.
Sometimes it's just like, God, you guys gotta get some new hobbies because
like
you can't hear about no gills.
Like
my only nitpick with -1 is ears. If he had ears, it would.
See, that.
Yeah,
that's one of those where it's just like, shut up, right?
John tells Tony to shut the fuck up.
But at the same time, it's understandable to say that because Tony likes his designs with ears mainly. I feel like, right? Like 85 has the ears and whatnot, and most of your designs,
the original,
right? Most of your designs you do like. So, and going with you, dude, it's like you want to see them chompers. You know, like Shin Godzilla, for instance, he had that most fucked up mouth, and those teeth were just like, you could do some
all over
goddamn damage to it.
Yeah. That's not the takeaway. I love the -1 design. It's definitely, I'd say honestly, probably my favorite since. Yeah, I'd probably say it's my favorite design since Godzilla 2000. It's just really good. If I had to choose a third design, I'll look at my figures before I say.
That was my next question. I wanted to see some.
What he got?
Figures.
Yeah.
It's
controversial, but I'll say it. I love Godzilla 98. I love his design.
I'm going to disagree. I don't think that's controversial. Tony's leaving now. Good job. I actually don't. I don't feel like that's as controversial anymore, especially with.
It's actually a good design, man. It's actually a good design.
I mean, this is for me. I just don't see it as a proper Godzilla design.
Right.
But that's because I guess I've been so used to it being thick and bulky and just slowly.
Slow, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love seeing Godzilla run in GXK. I laugh every time because it's just fun. And Kong hops on his back and it's like wee.
We're brothers now.
But I think that's a solid thing. Fuck, well, they're gonna. Okay, here's my follow up for you, and this is what I'm gonna throw you a curveball, good sir. 3 of your least favorite Godzilla films.
Oh, you're gonna get me in trouble with this.
I am.
Damn, John.
Now we're going all out. All out with this man.
John's like, I want to riot tonight.
I want war.
I'll say my first least favorite, which is a lot of people's really do it. Monster Zero for me. That's one for me where I love the humans, but the monster stuff just kind of
bad.
It just doesn't really the space fight is cool, I guess, and then
it's kind of underwhelming.
And then they just kind of fight at the end. I don't know. I didn't think it was as good as the Ghidorah fight or Destroy All Monsters.
Right.
So that one I don't go to as much. I'm not big on.
John, you put him in hot water right now.
I know. I love Gigan. I don't know if I love his movie.
Oh, that's a toughie.
Mainly just because I don't know that. I know Megalon also uses stock footage in the final fight, but for some reason the stock footage at the end of Gigan just really
pissed you off.
It's just Ghidorah, but darkened. It's very. I don't know.
That's a film creator right there.
Yeah,
that's a critique from a film creator.
I can respect that though.
No, yeah.
100% respect that because it's isolating the movie for what it is. It's not saying, oh well, both films use same exact stock footage,
Right.
and it's saying, well, yes, you're acknowledging that it did, and then, but I'm mainly talking about Gigan, not anything else. So I respect that 100%.
Because even
So to me, like the shots of Gigan they use in Megalon, when I watch Gigan, I'm like, oh, they stole that from Megalon.
yeah,
It's the other way.
Oh, I get it.
because
I
even
get
in Godzilla vs Gigan, when they do the whole like battle with King Ghidorah and Anguirus, they literally took the stock footage from Destroy All Monsters and then darkened that as much as they could, so we're like, oh,
Yeah.
it matches the nighttime scenes with Godzilla and Gigan as they're going at it.
Yeah. And there's clearly like blue skies
Yeah,
behind
it's
them.
like,
It's just,
what's going on with all this?
How many movies had King Caesar crawling through the tree line as the masers were shooting the trees?
No, that's
yeah.
Well, didn't
Gyra.
that start with the
Or the
Gargantuas?
Gargantuas,
though?
yeah.
That was first Gargantuas, and
That was
then they
Gyra.
used it in Megalon, and then in Gigan.
Gigan, Megalon, and then
I think there's another.
I feel like there is another one. I just can't.
They go to that film. They're really proud of that scene.
Hey,
It's a cool. I think it's
it was
a
an
fun
iconic-
fucking scene. It's one of
It was
those
an
scenes
iconic
where it's like. But
I
all
watched
right.
it
So what do you
yesterday.
think? What would you say the third one? If you could, if you can, if you can't, no worries.
I'm gonna look at the list of movies before I.
And then as you do, you should grab your favorite figure so we can see it because I know Tony wants to definitely say I
Yeah,
want to see
got
it
some
too.
questions about the collection you got.
Tony, I want your fucking hat.
You want my hat?
I
Yeah,
want
I
some
love it.
fucking merch. Where's my shit at?
Coming.
Yeah,
John's got the original.
I got the
I do
OG.
have.
I should have
Oh,
ripped.
no.
I should have ripped that off him at GFest and take it as a trophy.
I would have done horrible things to your face.
I would have welcomed it, sir.
Came out nice.
God, it was so good.
All right, favorite. I already said the design, but this guy is my favorite.
Okay.
That's-
Boy.
Is that NECA or
That's-
SH?
That's a.
I think this is.
That might be the NECA.
Which one's? It's the cheaper one.
NECA.
Probably
NECA.
NECA, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I have mine in the case still in the box. That was my first NECA figure.
I cannot stand this. I cannot.
Oh no!
2 years I've been trying to get this tail on. It just.
You didn't heat
It's
it
the
up.
perfect. I've heated it up. I've used a hair dryer. I'm honestly at the point where I'll send I'll send it to someone and I'll pay them to put the tail.
Give it
on.
to Tony. Tony will
Tony,
put it on.
This I want to tell you something about Tony.
Okay.
And this is one of
This
those
needs to be
things that even as a collector I would never ever fucking do. And I have
this needs to
so
be
much
addressed.
respect for him for doing this.
Yep.
This man will put on. Do you have any X Plus figures?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know like the process of putting together an X Plus figure? Like you got to put the tail and the hole and all that shit. This motherfucker right here raw dogs it. He don't heat it up. He don't put hot water on it. No lube, no nothing.
Nada.
Just
That's
if
crazy.
you want someone to get that tail on for you, he will fucking do it. He's a psychopath. Yeah. I would. Yeah, like he just.
Hey.
Is that the Super 7?
Yeah, Super 7.
Yes.
Super garbage.
I
This
will
thing-
say the dorsals
This
are
thing
nice.
sucks.
The dorsals are the best thing about that figure.
Toy companies, just give us the toy with the tail on.
Yeah.
You know, like what are we doing?
What
Like
are we
back
doing
in the
here?
day, like the fucking like the 90s figures. Like when you had something that had a tail, it had it attached.
Really?
Yeah.
That was it.
Just make the box a little bigger. Just a little bigger.
Just a wee.
Put
just
the
a
tail
wee
on
bit
for
bigger.
us.
Yeah.
You really don't have to do that much box artwork. Like I feel like that's where so much of that money goes. Like if you look at the SH boxes, they're all designed nice. Like even the Super 7 Meltdown one. And that's a fucking cover on it where you can't even see the figure. Like, I'll get it. Hold on a second. Because this shit pisses me off.
Oh boy. Real quick, while he grabs that, Tony, ask your question real quick about his
What's
collection.
I also
Yeah.
Okay, well now
What do you have? What do you collect, or do you aim at collecting, or do you just kind of pick up stuff whenever?
Yeah, right now, mainly just picking up. I haven't started grabbing stuff until I'd say a couple years ago. Mainly because I'm just in an apartment right now. I feel like once I have a full house, I can actually go crazy and commit to it. But right now, this is literally just a Godzilla corner. Like the rest of the room is normal. I just have all my stuff in one corner. But yeah, I'm. It's one of those things. Like once I did it once, it's kind of addicting. Like now, I want to buy them all.
Yep.
No, because that's how it was for me. Because I lived in an apartment, all my Godzilla figures were on my desk, just scattered about. And then I did a demo for this lady, and she gave me that case back there for free. And I asked her, I was like, "Hey, what do you want to do with the case? You want us to get rid of it? Do you want to keep it? What do you want to do?" She's like, "If you want it, take it." I was like,
"Hell yeah!"
She's like, "I was gonna sell it for like $100, so if you want it, you can take it with you." I'm like, "Bet." Say no more. I will come back for that thing. Don't you worry. And then the very next day, I loaded it up and took it home. I cleaned it, dusted it, repolished the glass, and then put LEDs in there. The hardest part was getting everything in there.
John, Super 7 does do decent boxes.
They do.
Sure. Listen, 100%. But it's like it's pick and choose your battles, right? If you're gonna give me this artful color box, awesome. But if I have to, and totally on with you, dude. If I gotta struggle to put on a fucking tail, that box art should not be pretty. Okay, it shouldn't be. Put the fucking tail on and give me a pretty box. Like, come on, like,
look,
stop fucking me without lube. Jesus Christ. Take me out to dinner, rub me the right way.
This one, I mean, the box art for this is...
It's simple.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's not too flashy. It's literally as simplistic as it gets. But it's still a cool box design.
That black and white,
dorsals.
joint.
Yeah, with the blue dorsals.
Yeah. Yeah, they did decent on the box art, but again, putting the tail on for these, especially with Super 7. Super 7 is
that had to have been a bitch.
I was about to say love-hate relationship. It's more hate than... I have both sitting here, and they were both gifts for the holidays. So I guess I have to.
You have an avocado.
Thanks. You could have got me a really good X Plus with the price of both of these together.
Speaking of,
or at least a down payment on one.
Speaking of the X Plus, I actually I pre-ordered the Godzilla Ichiban.
What's going on with that one?
Oh no. So
why did you got the ultimate? You just want to
I want
ultimate.
More. I want more.
Yeah.
I want more. I just want more.
Sense.
I did.
Makes sense.
I love -1. I think I can fucking preach about that movie constantly, and it won't justify how much I love that film. And I think the Godzilla design should have been used longer in that film. I think that maybe we should have gotten a little preview of how he was prior to Odo Island and how the natives would feed him and all this other stuff. But it's just like, and of course, the story of Godzilla from '91, also one of my favorites as well. It's just such a, he's so badass looking as a Godzilla. Like if they decided to just go with that alone and just make him like bigger and stronger, I would have been okay with it. I would have had the same fucking feelings. I think it would have been sick. Like just imagine the atomic breath coming out of that Godzilla.
Yeah.
Beast mode, bro. Beast mode.
Tarrell, we have a reoccurring question on our podcast. We haven't asked this question in a long time, but did you cry when you watched -1 for the first time?
I got pretty close. I think I'm kind of dead inside, but for someone that's dead, it got me pretty close. So
that's an accomplishment then. I mean, it was welding up for you. I understand. Yeah. No.
That scene after the nuke and he like in the street screaming, like that was, you could feel it in the theater. That was unreal.
Because
I love how dry that was.
Since I just got a brand new fucking TV. It's one of those the QLEDs, the one where it looks like the footage is popping out. Watching that scene on this TV.
How was it?
Oh my god! You felt it. You could exactly the way it felt in the movie theater that day. I remember it, and I cried in the theater, and I was tearing up while watching that scene on the TV, and I'm just like, his scream alone, and just just for the sheer fact of like how I kind of interpret that scene. My theory is like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He has no clue. And he's like, why am I here? What is all this? Who are all this? And he's kind of scared. And then like he unleashes that atomic mind. The way he just looks up at that mushroom cloud, I almost feel like he was saying, I did that?
Okay, yeah, I did
what
that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then he roars and he's like, you're goddamn right, I fucking did that. You sons of bitches, you did this to me. Now this is my wrath, and it's time to fucking feel it. And it's just one of those things where you get so lost in the emotion of it. And I think that's great. And then, out came GXK, and it balanced it. It gave that goofy Showa type of feel, which I feel like with something that we talked about earlier in the episode, like the expectations of that Showa type of goofiness was in there, so it cleansed the palate on it. But goddamn, -1 is just. We could talk about -1 all over again.
No, we literally could.
The fucking thing.
As if it doesn't give enough glazing on his channel.
we do some -1 glazing.
Oh, we glaze it hard. and respectfully. What else we got for this kind gentleman here?
I do want to say, my phone is dying. I just want to give that.
Yeah.
In case I did.
No, I think, shit, this has been a fantastic episode, man. And, we want you to enjoy the rest of the day for sure. But
I want to do a shameless plug real quick.
Do it up.
Our listeners and Tarrell, we just launched our merch shop.
Woo!
So we've got United Kaiju podcast shirts available.
And for all you Godzilla 2014 fans, there's a special shirt just for you.
Special shirt
and we're not going to say what it is. We want you to go take a look at it. So please, you got to take a look at it.
So the back of this shirt, this is one strictly for the podcast. It says, when mankind falls into conflict with nature, monsters are born.
Yep.
It's the quote from 85. And this one is on there. It's got some art I did on the back.
Pull that back, Tony.
There you go. Flex that back.
Did it show good? Did it show good?
Yeah. You guys, I think you stand up. We need to see your ass. I mean, the shirt. My man got that cake. Oh,
Daddy's no cake every night.
Cake every night. Oh God.
But yeah, the site is up. It's on it's on our link tree on our Instagram page. And it's merchyear.com, United Kaiju Podcast. But yeah, that's live, and we hope to do some great things with that.
I would say before we close, we should absolutely let Tarrell plug in every fucking platform he got. I don't care if it's Live Journal, bro. Let's throw that back into
Let the fans know what you got.
I want my space.
Yeah, right. I want you to lay it all out on the table for them, please.
Yep.
Yeah. If you want to check out my stuff, YouTube at Lost Utopian Films is the main place where I'll be posting stuff. I'm also on Twitter at I am Tarrell, and then Lost Utopian Films on Instagram and Facebook as well. And that's where we'll be posting kind of updates, behind the scenes stuff, and all that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy it.
Awesome.
You better go fucking check it out. We're coming to find you, putting Gabber in your dreams, you bitch. But all. Listen, it's been a year, guys.
It's been a year, guys.
It's been a year since I got just full on filthy on the podcast. So it's time to make up.
My lovely brothers. It's been a while.
It's gotta be done. But with that, Tony, whoever, want to take it away and let our esteemed guest, fucking lay it down for us as well.
Again, we appreciate you coming on with us. We hope
Absolutely.
we didn't take up too much of your time
No.
or waste it.
Yeah, you film people, really, you got a lot going for it. I ain't trying to get you pissed off, man. Fuck that.
No.
We look forward to seeing new projects that you drop. It's always awesome to connect with fellow fans of the community that are doing and creating awesome stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just the appreciation for you coming on. And with that, we're gonna let you do the phrase that pays to close us out. If I can learn how to talk one day.
Speech,
one
Tony,
day.
speech.
Shut up, John.
It's hard. Talking is hard.
It is
Seriously,
hard.
it is.
Palate
I
cleanser.
hate it.
Palate cleanser.
Go for it, Tarrell.
You want me? Is it the cake line?
Yep.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
All right. Daddy's home. Cake every night.
There it is.
And there you have it, folks. We want to thank all of our listeners, watchers, viewers for checking us out. We are truly happy to be back in the year 2025. And by all means, please go check out Trell stuff, Lost Utopia Films, and all that good stuff. Really making fucking amazing shit. So thank you so much for doing that. And always remember, folks, Godzilla's not real, so that means you can do anything and everything with him. There's no limitation. Sky's the limit, my folks. So just make sure you do that before you start arguing the realism of Godzilla. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Thank you once again, and stay united, G-fans. We're out of here.
Yep. Also, happy birthday, Alex Cruz. Hope you had a good one, buddy.
Happy birthday, Alex Cruz.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, you.
No,
All
I'm
right,
not
fellas.
singing that
All right.
fucking song. All right. We good?
That wraps it.
All right. Terrell, thank you. Thank you so much, man,
Yes,
for coming on. We
thank
really,
you.
we
Yeah.
really.
For sure.
And by all means, please, if you ever want us to share your shit, just send it on over. We're happy to support. That's what we're all about here. So thank you once again, dude. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on. It was a blast,
Awesome.
and I will be buying some merch today. So everyone
Yes.
Give this man a discount. Fuck that, Tony.
Yeah,
I'll
Tony.
put 20 in his on his tab.
Oh, throw another 20 on me, too.
I have to do a first day open sale.
First day.
Yeah, we got what 15% off at least.
I think 15's a fair.
Yeah.
15's
All
fair.
right.
Yeah.
Solid.
But let's give Terrell 20
Give him 20 just for him.
just for him.
All right. Thank you so much, man. Y'all can let you do your thing, and hope you boys enjoy your Sundays.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good one.
You're welcome.
yeah.
What?
Well, when do y'all want to do the watch along, John and Tony, for the 54? Just us three.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna do a watch along, we should include the fucking maker.
The maker, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
We'll talk about it. Let's
Yeah,
get
we'll
a
talk
good
about it.
date.
Yeah, we'll talk
and
about it.
we'll
Yeah.
see what goes on.
Yeah.
He's a film guy. He's busy.
Making greatness one day at a time.
You're goddamn right.
Right.
All right, brothers.
All right.
Y'all be good. Terrell,
All right,
man,
fellas.
thank you so much.
Terrell.
So glad to meet you.
Thank you,
I hope you have a
Terrell.
good day,
Thank
man.
you.
That was good to meet you all.
Be
Have
well.
a good one.
All right. Y'all take care. Happy New Year.
See you.